Killjoy is easily the best agent on Lotus. Her nanoswarms fit perfectly into the tight choke points across the map, and her lockdown easily covers all the sites. On top of this, I've been playing her a lot recently, and even managed to reach my peak rank with mostly Killjoy and Cypher. Because of that, I wanted to figure out some of the best ways to use her utility on Lotus, and I'll be sharing all those setups and things I learnt in this video. There are a few general tips I want to mention first though. These revolving doors will break any utility that you have on them, so whether it be like your turret, or your alarm bot, or even your ultimate. If you have any utility in the way of this door, as you can see, it's just going to come through and break all of it. So make sure any of these you do not want to put in the way of the door. What you can do though is with your nanoswarm. What you want to do, especially on defense, just put your nanoswarm right in front of the door like that, and then as soon as you hear the other team open it, what you want to do is pop that straight away, and that's just going to stop the other team from pushing through this door at all, and it's just going to waste their time. Also on this map, on all the sites, don't be afraid to use your lockdown right after planting the spike, especially if you have 2 nanoswarms as well, because the amount of space that you can get by placing your lockdown on site is crazy. You can see here on C, it's going to push them all the way back into those areas. On B, if you place it back here, you can see it's going to push them all the way back there. And then on A, it's also going to push them back really far into CT. I know I said right after you plant, but you probably want to wait about 10 seconds or so unless you know they're going to push straight away. Because of how tight all the sites are, using a lockdown like that is going to be really, really strong. Before I move on to the defensive setups, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service that provides all the ingredients you need for stress-free cooking and meal plan, making dinner time quick, easy, and delicious. They do this by delivering seasonal ingredients and easy to follow recipe cards right to your door, making it swift and simple to prepare dinners the whole household will love. HelloFresh offers many different recipes per week to choose from, and you can select from this variety to create your perfect menu. Once you've chosen the meal you want, they'll deliver pre-measured ingredients for everything that you need to cook. Some of the recipe types include family-friendly, calorie-smart, or even just quick and easy recipes, and the ingredients will always be high quality and selected by the suppliers of HelloFresh. They're on a very flexible subscription, so you can schedule the deliveries at your own convenience while also being able to pause and cancel your subscription at any time. So what are you waiting for? Use the code HelloKanga to support me and get up to 20 meals for free when you sign up for HelloFresh today. So defending A as Killjoy, I like to play a pretty passive setup. What I'll do first, have my alarm bot over here, and then a nanoswarm here. So as soon as this alarm bot goes off, you pop this nanoswarm to delay them coming in through this area. Put my turret in this corner so it can watch the door and this way when they come through. And I also like to put my second nanoswarm on the door. If you stand up against where you put your turret and aim at the bottom like so, the nanoswarm's just going to land right there. Then as soon as you hear the door open, you have to pop that, and then they literally just can't get through with this nanoswarm here. So that setup is basically just going to stall the other team, the nanoswarm there, by time for your team to rotate, for you to reposition, stuff like that. Another alternative that I like to do is put my turret on this side instead, and then dump everything else into this tree room right here. You want your alarm bot around here so you can tell once they come through the door. The first nanoswarm you want to put just past the door so that the door can swing open and not break it. And then the second one you want to put basically in between these 2 points of grass. So right around there, then what will happen, you hear the door open, so you're ready. You hear the alarm bot go off, you pop both of those, they can't stand anywhere there, and then you can just swing into this corner, 3 kills. For defending B, firstly I like to put my turret back in this corner right here, so we can see if they come through from A or through B main. For the alarm bot, you want to place it right here, so then you can see as soon as they come past this or past this, it'll detect them. One nanoswarm I like to put there, then when this alarm bot goes off, you pop it, and it splits them up between being back in main or out on site. And then a second one I like to put on default. You can put it up on this box, you can put it down there, whatever works. That's where people will probably be planting, so they can play from either back there or back there. Now defending C site is where I think Killjoy really excels on this map. So what you want to do firstly, put your turret just like anywhere in this general area that can cover both of these entrances. I like to put it on top of this box sometimes because it's an angle they're less likely to expect. It can also see down there. For the alarm bot, you just want to center it with main. So it looks something like that. Right as they come through, it'll go off. The first nanoswarm you want to put on this little mark in the water right there. And the second one you have to wait until after the barrier drops and just put it right around there. You don't have to be too precise with this one, just roughly in the middle. And then as this alarm bot goes off, you pop both of those, and then they can't come in here anymore. If they get too used to that setup, what I like to do as well is just bring it all back a bit. So have your alarm bot roughly around here, and one nanoswarm next to it, and then one nanoswarm right here as well, so we can get it into that corner with the box. So then this nanoswarm catches them right as they cross through this point here. Then you pop both these, and they pretty much just get cooked. An alternative spot for your nanoswarms on C, sometimes you can put them in this corner, because not only will that get them early in the round if they try and go through here, It also stops them planning on default. Also, don't forget, if you try out HelloFresh and use my code HelloKanga, you can get up to 20 meals for free. Right, now looking at attacking on Killjoy, when I'm talking about attacking, I'll mostly just be focusing on where to put your turret to watch the flank, as well as where to put your nanoswarms on site. So when I'm attacking A as Killjoy, I like to put my turret up here, facing this way, so then you can see it'll catch anyone flanking, and it'll also catch people if they try and go for the door. As for the alarm bots, if you get on site, all you have to do is just right click near this box, get one on top of there, and then it'll get either side and even inside. You can see they're planting it pretty much in all the default spots. That'll get it. And then if you don't get as far on site but still want to get that same nanoswarm, you can just stand in this corner right over here, aim at the top of the plant there, and you can see it's going to land on top of the box like so, affecting all those same areas. When it comes to attacking the B side as Killjoy, firstly you want to put your turret roughly here, so then it'll see not only the flank but also later in the round if anyone comes through the door. And as for the mollies, again, same as earlier, you want them sort of in this corner. This is where you want to be planning, so you can play from either there or back there. So after you planted the spike, pop one up there, pop one down there, and then you're good to go. If you're paranoid about the enemies breaking them as well, you can put an alarm bot, something like this, and then before they can even see them, you get an idea of when they're on the spike. You can pop one early, and then pop the second one later as well. When attacking C as Killjoy, I like to put my turret up on top of this box right here. Again, same thing as the other sides, it'll watch the flank, and if anyone comes through the door, so you just put your turret like that, covers the door and the flank. Then for the nanoswarms, same as pretty much everywhere else, you just want to put them on default, like that. Again, if you want, you can put your alarm bot further back. And then in terms of post plant, when the alarm bot goes off, pop one nanoswarm, and then just pop the second one soon after. Buys you a lot of time. Now looking at all the Killjoy lockdowns on this map, starting off with the A site and defending it. The first one you can do, which is really safe and doesn't quite clear everything, is this one back behind this box in heaven. The problem with this one is that it still gives them a lot of tree. You can see they're off site, but then they still have all of this area, which isn't ideal. But if you just want to clear out the site, that one will get the job done. One really strong lockdown here that you can do is going to be to put it in this corner, or in general this area right here. Now one thing I would recommend doing is, if you have your turret up, put your turret here and then put your lockdown next to it, because you can actually wallbang through here. So the enemies are going to try and wallbang this, well, if they know you can wallbang it, they will try and do that, so your turret can take some of that extra damage. And in general, you want to be telling your teammates that you're doing this. Maybe get some smokes up here. Be ready to fight this area, because they can break this lockdown. But the reason this lockdown is so good is you can see just how much of the map this covers. Obviously, the entire site, the entire tree area, this one is going to get as well. And it is going to push them all the way back. Again, the only problem you'll have is they can wallbang this. So just be ready to fight this, smoke it off, something along those lines. Then when it comes to attacking the A site with your ultimate, the best one is going to be inside of tree. So you want to get inside tree, take this space with your team, and then put the lockdown right back here. You can see that's going to clear out the entire site, even push them out of heaven. The only area they can be in is going to be back here in drop. Then all you have to do is just from tree, quickly throw a nanoswarm around the corner, and then you can put a nanoswarm there. So that'll either kill them or make them get detained, or again push them like all the way back here, and you get that entire space for your team. Now once using your lockdown on the B site, on retake, it's probably just going to depend on where you're coming from, and there's 3 good ultimates you can use. For example, if you start on C at the start of the round and you're retaking, you can place this one right here, and this one is going to force them pretty far back into B main, and maybe even on the other side of this door. If they don't have time to get all the way out here, they might try and go through the door instead. If you're coming through CT, one good one that you can do is going to be in this corner right here. Same sort of thing, push them back out into B main. And this one is going to give you even more control of this space right here. And then if you're coming from A or this sort of area, what you can even do is place it in this corner. This one is probably my favorite, especially if you have teammates coming through from C, so they already have control of this space, because then that's going to force them as far back as possible, or it's going to force them into your teammates there to fight them. Attacking B with the Killjoy lockdown is very, very simple. Just basically in this corner as you're attacking, you just place it down like so, and then you can see just how much space that covers. It forces them all the way out of A link, all the way out of heaven, pretty much all the way back into CT as well. Very, very strong ultimate to attacking B, and you can't wallbang this at all. So this one probably the strongest lockdown on this map, but there are some pretty strong retake ults on C as well. Firstly, a safer one that you can do if you have control of this space with your teammates, what you can do is place it just like in this corner right here. This one's still good. You can see it will clear out the site, pushes them back pretty far, and it's much harder for them to fight this one, so it's a safe ultimate you can use. Will still clear out the site for you. But the really strong one that you can do is going to be in this corner right here in waterfall. And you can see if you place this one, just how far back it pushes them. Like look, they literally have to come back pretty much into their own spawn. It pushes them all the way back here. The only place they could possibly stand is going to be here in CT. So ideally you'll just have teammates coming through here that can fight this. Or what you can also do is just come through here and throw a nanoswarm back there. The only problem with this lockdown is that they can fight it and push it pretty easily. You're in a pretty small corner right here. So the enemies are going to be very aware that they can just throw a molly right there. Or just push this and destroy it. So when you're using this one, keep in mind who's alive on their team. Do they have a molly they can use to break it? Do they have a raise nade? Do they have people playing close that are likely going to push this? Stuff like that. Otherwise though, this ultimate is insane. Then when it comes to attacking the A site with your lockdown, you want to place it in this corner right here. You can see when you place it here, it covers a similar area to that last one we just did, but now from the attacker's point of view. So you can see it completely clears out the site. It only leaves this corner. They can just barely stand in this, but you can see them if you're playing down here. So if you expect someone to be playing back there, you just peek this. You know exactly where they're standing and they're dead. And then if they're not playing in this corner, you can see it's going to push them all the way back here into CT. And then they can't even play in waterfall as well. It's going to push them all the way back here out onto the B site. Really good ult there to attack A. So that's everything I've got so far for playing Killjoy on Lotus. Hopefully you learned something useful, and if you have any other setups you think are good on this map, be sure to share them in the comments so other people can try them out too.